All right, so real quick, I found this, and it's so I guess there's this event where Jupiter, Venus, and the Moon line up, and like the Moon is in a crescent, so it looks like a smiley face.
Oh, it's like bonus smiley face sky right now.
Yeah, but it happened last night, so we're fucked.
So we don't see the smiley face.
We all
tonight?
missed it. There's pictures of it.
Oh, that was.
I know.
I think I thought for some reason that it was on Thursday, and I was really upset when I didn't see it.
Oh man,
I want to see it too. I
says,
want to make fun of that, but like I really want to see it too.
I think it's like one of the bottom links in there.
This graphic they have for it is not bad.
Yeah, and the next one is scheduled to happen in 2065.
That's when they're planning on it.
Yeah. Well, that's when everything lines up. Not like we scheduled it. Not like we like coordinated with, what are you doing in 2065, Jupiter?
Put on a happy space. All right.
Yeah.
That's chipper.
Kind of cool. Just like weird, but it seems like this, like it's an ironic space smile. Like y'all are fucked. Right? Feel bad for Earth right now.
It's grinning down sinisterly.
Right?
I missed that. I also missed. There was supposed to be the satellites that the Starlink satellites.
Oh, yeah.
There was supposed to be a bright viewing on Cinco de Mayo. I went, I missed the moon, but just from my yard. I went to a park to watch the Starlink satellites, and I missed. I couldn't see those either. I feel like
they're so small. Are they really visible? I haven't heard anything about looking at them.
Yeah,
just barely.
And they actually have a website that
sick.
that will let you know, because it's. I think they're supposed to be visible semi-regularly, but it'll even say they'll be really visible on this night, or they'll be, low light.
Nice.
Maybe visible.
Part I'm really excited about with Starlink, this is Elon Musk's satellite internet endeavor. The satellites are closer to the ground than previous satellite internet junk that you can get in rural communities now. It has way worse latency, and you still have to upload through the phone line on some of them, stuff like that. But this is something that could really replace our regular internet situation, finally.
Yeah.
Since Google Fiber is DOA, it's really, really dreaming of some fiber, yeah. No fiber. And CenturyLink has faux fiber. It's fiber maybe to the street. Fiber maybe to the end of the street.
But if you can even get service to where you live.
Yeah, it's not fiber to your house. There's clumps in the middle of town that are still old DSL phone lines. So CenturyLink's really hit or miss too. I'm just calling out companies right now.
Yeah. Fuck them, man.
Before we go too much further with space news, instead of segue into the exoplanets right away, I really want to talk about Cannonball Run.
Yeah, lay it on me.
Have you heard about Cannonball Run, Tommy? As a
the
tradition?
Film?
I honestly like the movies.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the
actual Cannonball Run?
Yeah, the traditional thing.
I'm familiar with it. I think isn't it just coast to coast, the fastest?
How fast you can go from one coast to the other. There's a specific start and end point that I don't remember, but there's since Pandy time it's been broken 7 times already. It's just getting destroyed. So in the record books, those people are all getting asterisks
because there's no traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or way reduced traffic.
Some people were just shy of the record by a few minutes from talking to one cop or something. But it's exciting. VinWiki has the best breakdown of it. That's the site by the dude that had the previous record before all this. VIN Wiki. It's a really fun site for car stuff anyhow. But they strap tanks in the back of the car, and you get a car that's kind of a sleeper, like a Mercedes or a BMW or something that you don't know if it's a basic old man or a turbo V8 situation. And
or are they sending lead cars ahead to kind of Smoking the Bandit style? Or
absolutely. Yeah, you don't break this record without a network of spotter cars that are friends across the nation that go and keep an eye on a certain area. They don't necessarily have to speed and get caught either. If they are just traversing that section of highway and keeping an eye. And then you have fancy radar. And then what was the other thing? There is another deal with it. Oh, I just want to mention that they travel, they were averaging 120, 130 through some cities. Average.
Damn.
That's crazy.
That statistic alone has got me stoked on Cannonball. Not that I'm going to do it, but following it is interesting. And what they do with these vehicles. There's some cool stories behind it. Donut Media has a podcast called Past Gas. It's a great place to hear the story of Cannonball Run from the beginning, because it started as like a rebellious like movement against the government and against like a nanny state of speed limits, when people can determine what speed their modern cars can be operate at safely on their own. These are adults that went and got a driver's license. They should know what they can handle going in their car. And that was like the spirit of the movement.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool way to rebel. Just
Yeah, right.
break the speed limit a lot.
The speed across the entire country.
Yeah.
I love it. So when you have to sign up, and then do you sign up with your own car?
If
Or
there's
is it-
not a sign-up thing, it's not official, because it would be
Oh, okay.
illegal.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So it's entirely like an underground friends and emails kind of thing.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
They made
Honor system.
a pretty good, I think it's an accurate documentary with, I think Dom DeLuise is in it.
Oh, really?
Pretty
With,
accurate
shit.
documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
worth
saw it
checking
as a-
out. They
I
made
saw
a
it as a
sequel,
kid.
too.
I need to see it again.
Tom DeLuise.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So, should we slide further into some of the space news? Because we found 2 killer exoplanets. That's a hip thing that happens now. Turns out just a year ago, we weren't sure any star really had a planet around it, for sure. And it was, actually maybe it was closer to 2 years ago, because I remember we talked about it on this show when it was first confirmed that there was definitely orbiting bodies around the other stars from the way planets were blocking the light. Or at least maybe it had been confirmed that much, but we had the first info about what these things were made of.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's a new space probe that's able to spot the crap out of these exoplanets. And there was a couple Earth-shaped ones that we found about a year and a half ago.
Well,
This is a big deal.
what is the difference between an exoplanet and just a planet? Like, we're on a planet, right? We're not on an exoplanet.
Well, exoplanets just mean around a different star than ours.
Okay.
So it's like all the planets that aren't ours,
Okay.
that aren't our suns. I'm taking possession of the whole solar system.
That's okay.
Yeah. So other suns, stars are exoplanets. And I'm smooshing it all around, but if I remember right, even knowing there's exoplanets is pretty new. And for sure knowing that there's ones that have Earth-like distance from the star and atmosphere situation. We found like 2 of those about 6 months ago in a clump of like 17. But they're like, this probe's got like 240 or something more that we're still looking at the data on. And in going through that data, we've got a 1 in a million super Earth and one that Greg found with iron in its atmosphere. So
Did I find that one?
that might have been Ange. Shout out to Ange
Yeah.
Kerfoot. She's coming hot with a
Doesn't sound
lot of the
familiar to me.
news. Yeah.
Well, I could have been in like a news finding haze where I just like,
I'm sure you
Picture.
hazed this one because this
Yeah.
one's so Greggy. So copper in the atmosphere.
yeah, there's all kinds of crazy like fucking planets out there, man. That like rain molten metal or diamonds and shit.
Raining
So-
diamonds was one we found.
Yeah.
It's like way crazier than No Man's Sky.
Right.
Described as an ultra-hot Jupiter, this gaseous giant lies so close to its host star that it orbits the whole sun. The whole year there is only 36 hours. Doesn't look like it's a good one to hang out at with
Right.
breathing in molten metal and stuff. But this super Earth, on the other hand, this is crazy. CNET wishes they could go.
Well,
for
now
a
that we're
visit.
like finding a lot of these exoplanets, there's a lot that are like in the right habitable zone for what we consider like necessary for life, as far as we know. So it might be pretty common that there's like other little people out there.
Yeah, it's like a big chubby bonus Earth. It just has extra stuff we could use. Make tchotchkes out of.
10
Make little-
times 10 times more massive than Earth, 25,000 light years.
10 times more so would that, I guess it would depend on the
gravity
density.
situation, though. I don't know.
Yeah,
If
right.
it's I'm not 100% on this. On moving over to this place, because I'll be like 10 times fatter.
Right.
Oh, Andrew's gonna kill me. I'm just scrolling back and forth on the text. It's
God.
really compelling.
That would suck to weigh like 2,500 pounds.
I know.
Like,
That's exactly what it was.
Man.
Oh, hey, shout out to our Australian correspondent, John Fox.
g'day.
John Fox. What's up,
If you
man?
look up John Bonham Fox on the old Book of Faces, there's a cool thing. He'll probably post this in the chat too, since I'm bringing it up. But he's celebrating Chris Cornell tomorrow of Soundgarden, and a bunch of rad covers and a live performance.
Oh, yeah?
So
Nice.
yeah, John, you can post a link to that in the chat. Ideally, I mean, I could later, but I'll probably forget. Koba in the Twitch, representing the Twitch coast to coast. Also in Australia, we're doubling up the Australia. What up, Buck? We should do a thing on
Buck,
Gambler.
what up?
Oh yeah, the Gambler 500. That's similar too. So yeah, we're gonna talk about cars a couple times upcomingly. Stick around. No, John's not in Australia anymore. That's right. I forgot. Okay, but you still represent Australia. I determined. So. Oh, you know what? It's already Bob Thornton hour.
It is.
Holy crap. So we've got to pay some Billy Bobs, and I'm going to send it over to those people for that. Hold on to your butts.
Listen up. The soap you shower with, it's you probably haven't even questioned what bar soap you lather up with. Let's face it, most guys don't. They're still using whatever bar their mommy bought for her little man. Is that what you want? To smell like mama's little man? Ugh. But now you can upgrade your shower game with Dr. Squatch Natural Soap.
To subscribe to Dr. Squatch, visit RadioVegas.rocks and click on the banner.
Or don't. And continue to be mama's
You got it?
little
You want me to
help.
do it?
Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. Real soap for real men.
Good. Real quick, the Squatch soaps, Dr. Squatch, I actually have some in the shower. I've rubbed it all over myself. I had a good time. Smells great. I picked the one that's got like a moss situation, like moss was in the name, and I really love moss. So I just had like a jungle experience in there, and it felt great. I felt exfoliated, but not too exfoliated. Anyway, let's keep trucking.
Why do we love the Golden
Yeah.
Tiki so much? How about the handcrafted tiki drinks made with freshly squeezed juices, homemade syrups, and top shelf booze? These aren't your cruise ship pre-mixed cocktails. These specialty drinks take time and are for the true cocktail enthusiast. Located in the strip mall in Chinatown, it's truly a hidden hideaway. Well, hidden if you don't know the address, it's 3939 Spring Mountain Road. This place is what my tiki bar dreams are made of, an adult version to Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, complete with alcohol-infused Dole Whip and dirty talking birds, with drink names like Navy Grog, Terrible Twisted, and Dirty Banana. And last but not least, a shot of empathy named Kraken. These drinks will have you back and back again. From the kick-ass atmosphere, hidden Easter eggs in the bar, like Bigfoot's footprint, and don't forget to rub the golden dong for good luck. From live music to DJs that will make you feel like you're on a tropical vacation. The Golden Tiki, 3939 Spring Mountain Road. That's the Golden Tiki, 3939 Spring Mountain Road.
High Quality Rock is on the air. It used to be LV Classic Rock, but truth is, we outgrew and outlasted the classic rock format with the time-tested best rock and roll artists and songs ever. Only the highest quality rock, the music you've loved for years and years, and a great lineup of shows and personalities. Jeff Dorset, Gary Jackson, Crazy J, Tom Seaborn, Will Meadows, and even Dr. Duck's guitar prescription. Better than classic rock, it's high quality rock at highqualityrock.com. Take high quality rock with you using the free Radio Vegas Rocks app.
All right, we are back. It's Greasy Conversation on Radio Vegas .rocks. And we've got Tommy Todd, we've got Dank News, and it's trucking. We're doing it.
It's an extra greasy episode.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So greasy, you got to do it with the Z sound.
Yeah.
Greasy.
There's droplets forming on the walls and stuff. There's condensation.
All right, we got this. So some researchers in the Antarctic had an experience with that penguin jankum.
Wait. Penguin Jankum.
Penguin pee poo put into a bottle,
I
Yeah.
know this is your article.
allowed to ferment,
Yeah.
and then breathed in.
Yeah, so these researchers, so apparently like penguin poop is really concentrated with nitrous oxide. which is just laughing gas. Yeah, so they were doing some research on the effect of the nitrous oxide, like as far as for the climate, but they got a little too comfy with all that penguin guano and went on a little adventure.
Is it illegal to own a penguin?
It is now, shit.
Right. I could see, like, there's a lot of, like, one day when they allow, like, marijuana actual, like, lounges, I want to open one and have a penguin and, like, you can go smoke your doja, or you can come over and,
Take it up a notch. Yeah.
Stick your head in the penguin shit box and wait. Am I allowed to say?
Yeah.
That's, okay.
For sure.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry.
Hell yeah. Dude, penguin shit boxes. There's get some whippets or something, you know.
It's got to be an expensive situation because it's got to be expensive to own a penguin and then build the enclosure and the special enclosure to have like the nozzle. It's just like so much work into this drug compared to.
Well, is it really all that expensive? Like, I've seen March of the Penguins. They go a long time without food.
Oh,
Like
food
between
factor.
meals, you know? I mean, if I had a penguin, I would want to feed it every day. But, like,
Yeah, make sure
you
it's
know,
fed.
in March of the Penguins, like, one of them goes out for food and is gone for, I don't know, it hasn't been that long. But
Forever.
I feel like you could feed him, like, twice a week and
Right.
still be okay.
Right. Well, you got to feed him like more than you usually would because you got to keep a fresh flow of that penguin guano.
You do
That's
need the
the
guano.
thing.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to
okay.
overfeed them.
Yeah.
That's a factor.
I mean, not too much, but enough to just keep a steady supply, you know?
It's like foie gras.
Got to keep them jankum junkies on the hook, man.
Oh, man. Now I'm seeing, like, terrible visions of, like, penguins being force-fed.
Oh,
Like,
God.
with the foie gras. Okay.
That's terrible.
Squeezing the penguin out in your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Oh, man.
All right, new topic.
We're all going to hell.
Thank you.
Nice. I love it. All right.
Close that
On
tab.
some more animal news. So, like, the last few weeks, we've had a lot of stories about invasive species.
Oh, yeah.
We had the murder wasps. And then there were those,
Mantises that eat the murder wasps?
murder hornets. And then
Hornets.
then the wasps and the other wasps from Japan. That are
And
just
then
like
those
really
moths. The gypsy moths, too.
gypsy moths. That's what they were.
This has become such a wildlife podcast.
Right? And now in Georgia, they're asking for public help to eradicate a 4-foot lizard.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Just
It's-
one lizard? Just one rogue lizard? Or
Yeah. He's really fucking mean, though, dude. He's got a sword and everything, man.
What's his
It's
name?
crazy. No, so this is they're black and white Tagus lizards. They're native to Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay.
Dang.
And but now they're in Georgia, and they say they can have a negative impact because these things just pretty much eat like whatever the fuck they want, of like any animal that's around, like that they can eat. They'll just eat it. Eggs, all kinds of shit. So like, you know.
So we know it's multiple lizards, but say it were one lizard and you were like working for the newspaper and they're like, we need a name for this terrible lizard that's driving everybody nuts. Like, what do we name this fella? Like,
Does that-
Gargonzoloid.
Does it have to be like a human name of just someone that's like always an asshole? But you know, there's like the Karen for women. That's like Karen's always the woman that speaks to the manager. You know, so like, there'd have to be one. Like, can't be Kyle. It just have to be some other like dick name.
Little Stompy.
Well, they're invasive, right? And so
Yeah.
they're wanting to get rid. Like, why don't you name them like the tastes like chicken lizard or the
Because it'll get people excited to kill them and eat them.
right?
Take down
Well, that's
that
what
population.
I'm saying. Well,
Yeah,
that's
all right.
that's what they want to do.
The Colonel
So-
Sanders.
Oh, so Colonel Sanders is taking over the town. You know what you got to do.
or like the dark chocolate lizard.
Right. Man, but like, how are people gonna help?
11 herbs and spices. That's how they're going to help.
Right. I mean, so these things aren't like And they're maybe like 4 feet long, but they're not like massive. They only weigh like 10 pounds. So they're not like Komodo dragon style lizards where they're fucking terrifying. But like you just like round up a little lizard gang and go like brain them with some baseball bats. Like, is that what we're doing?
Buck says call him Richard. Shout out Steven who had the Karen idea too.
Yeah, you could call him Richard. But I was like, calling him Dick would be too obvious. So you have to be like, I don't know.
I'm still on eating them. Now, like, make that skin into a
Fucking
nice
George.
handbag. The
George.
skin looks expensive.
Yeah, I'd buy shoes with that.
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
frame.
man. What you gotta do is just like kill one, just hollow it out, slip the feet right in them. Get that real fresh like fucking boot.
Its legs are flopping around on the other side of your feet.
Oh man. And then
The
someone
image of that's so
someone
good.
steps on the heel and like the tail pops off. Fuck.
It'll grow back.
Not my fucking boots. My brand new fucking black and white Tegus lizard boots.
I've got a bunch of lizards that hang out on my backyard wall.
Nice.
And they come out and they do this like flexing thing where they
the
they
neck
come
thing.
out. No, they do like push-ups. And
Oh,
they'll-
yeah.
They'll do they'll pop in like 10 push-ups and be like, "What's up, bro? What's up?"
They're like the little geckos, right? They crawl all over the walls and shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Those like find their way into my house, and then my cats eat them, and I feel bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like tons of them, but still.
Wish the
they're
cats,
cool.
they eat them so slowly too.
Yeah, they don't
always,
even
like,
eat them. They just
smack 'em
like
around,
they just
yeah.
kill them until they don't run around anymore.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, you're all right.
This toy's broke.
New toy. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Pretty gnarly.
Fucking dicks.
Cats destroy everything. Like house cats are like behind this whole tiny like murder world behind behind the scenes.
Like I was reading I can't remember what. Oh, because I was reading about. Whatever. I think it was like Trump saying something about his like crusade against like windmills, like, for.
Killing
Like
the
producing
birds.
energy, but like he says they kill a bunch of birds, and they don't really kill that many birds, and like cats kill a shit ton of fucking birds, which I don't know how many, but it's like 2.3 billion birds or some shit in a year, which is like insane.
I could see that.
But just like normal cats running around the neighborhood just murdering birds all day. But yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything else you see in the wildlife category since we're in that pocket at the moment?
Oh yeah, there's a ton in the wildlife category.
I can see your screen right now in the upper camera.
Oh, really?
Where you're just looking at Elon Musk on Rogan.
Yeah, there's the Elon Musk one about Neuralink, but so new theory of Tyrannosaurus Rex that it didn't ever run, and it just had like very large legs just so it could like walk forever and never get tired.
Oh.
So like you could just run away from it and you'd be totally fine if it was a Jurassic Park situation. So once again, Jurassic Park let me down, and it wasn't at all realistic.
That raptor, though, that's the thing. The real star of Jurassic Park was the raptor. I didn't even know that was a thing before that movie.
I didn't grab it, but there was also an article I ran across that was saying there's research, and these researchers think that raptors didn't hunt in packs either. So Jurassic Park was just a fucking farce from the get-go.
Well, it was also like raptors were like they were closer to like 3 feet tall. They weren't anywhere near as big as they were.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Oh,
Jurassic
There were like a few
no.
different kinds of raptors. I don't know if any of them got that big. I think like the 3 feet ones were the most larger they got. So yeah, I mean there are some liberties taken with Jurassic Park, but it was fun, man. You
Well,
know?
I worked at a children's science museum years ago, and
Nice.
Whenever there weren't kids, they would allow you to read as long as it was like books that were relevant to the kinds of stuff. And I read that so not only were T-Rexes not like fast runners, but they were also like not great predators in general. They were more just scavengers.
Oh,
That makes sense.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because they're just the way that they're built. They're
They can't
know,
like
the-
actually catch prey.
right, like the useless arms, and yeah, they would just go and try to find stuff that was already dead and chow down.
Scare off the other predators.
Mhm.
Just so trippy because they're so fucking large. Like, how does a creature get that large by being a predator?
Or a scavenger, yeah. Man,
Kinda
imagine
crazy.
what they're scavenging.
Right.
That's the thing.
But then, like, what? Like, did they just wait for like the giant fucking dinosaurs, like the Brontosaurus or Brachiosaurus, whatever the fuck ever?
Or take out weak ones too, like hyenas do.
Yeah. Just wait for them to keel over.
And be violent enough that like the tigers don't want to deal with you for like their leftovers.
Yeah. But hyenas got the numbers, but I guess Tyrannosaurus just had the size. It's had it unlocked.
And feathers is another thing that blows my mind. How much like dinosaurs were birds kind of thing. I know this like not
Toward
new
the
to
end.
anybody anymore, but like it's still exciting to me.
Yeah. Or what's like another weird thing to realize is that in all the movies and any like exhibits or anything, you always see dinosaurs like colored a certain way. Like no one actually knows what fucking color they were.
No.
They could have all been like neon pink and shit, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just we're just like, I guess like, you know, just like brown and green, you know? Yeah, that's good.
So since I know you have it up, segue sound. The Neuralink thing, Elon Musk is being crazy optimistic on the timeline of that.
Yeah, so I haven't really
Not that
like
any of his timelines have ever been right, but stuff does eventually happen that he talks about.
Yeah.
We do land rockets now, which is insane. No one thought that was going to actually get pulled off. Like landing the booster stage
yeah.
is crazy to reuse that. Such a big fella. And landing just still like a rocket, all sci-fi. Anyway, I believe him that something will eventually have, but
I haven't even really like
5 to 10 years.
dove into this Neuralink. What is it? Is it just supposed to be like a communication, like mental communication
yeah,
through some electronic medium?
the way I look at it is, it's first being played with people that already need electrical stimulation in the brain to stop seizures and things like that. But these electrodes, when they're actually touching the brain, can bidirectionally like swap electrical signals, so they can pick up an electrical signal that's going on in that area and artificially cause one. And it's extremely high resolution in there. It's all microscopic, like it's a really microscopic tracings on that circuit board in the brain, metaphorically, and it's more three-dimensional, like layered excuse me, than like tapping in, like circuit bending, for example. But if you have that kind of, the more you can increase the resolution without damaging things there, like the more brain surface area you can touch without damaging the brain, the more the brain can learn to interface with that area. For example, if you were blind, there's a thing that you can put on your tongue, and you can learn to see through patterns on your tongue. So like the shape of an image appearing on your tongue, you'll map that to an image in your brain.
Yeah, it has like a
automatically after
camera
a minute,
attached to it, and the camera sends the information onto your tongue, and then your brain like rewires itself to interpret that as images. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so that's where I think the at least the early stages of Neuralink are taking place, with basically like that taken right to the surface of the brain, where there's still like a layer of the brain having to learn to interface with that is one thing. But like the fact that we've already, wasn't it last week or the week before, you brought up a story where like a thought was actually transmitted?
Yeah, I know. Like
Like an image of a word?
They were able to interpret words just using brain patterns. Yeah, that was possible.
Right, but the idea of human language being obsolete, like that's some crazy like
That seems
you've got
really
like
far-fetched.
you're sending concepts to somebody that doesn't speak the same language as you, and it's making the actual like understanding of the concept obsolete, because it's just, oh, we have you have the idea that I had,
Yeah.
and you understand the general idea behind it, which is crazy.
Then there's also a thing where like some people think more verbally, and then some people
Yeah.
think like in just abstract pictures and
And then they have to find
concepts,
words to
and then
what
they
they're
have
thinking,
to verbalize it. But some people just have that constant inner dialogue.
Most people are kind of doing both at once, and it's like whoever gets there first.
Yeah,
So much parallel processing in the brain.
yeah, totally.
I feel like the cooler application that it's got to be connected somehow would be like a giant robots that you can.
Oh, dude.
Just
Like Pacific Rim?
yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm
yeah,
there.
I
I'm
would
with
love
you.
to chill on the couch and like have this giant robot like go grocery shopping for me.
Mm-hmm.
If I could still like wave at people with the robot and like high five things.
Dude, do you guys remember those like movies from the? They had to be like late '80s or early '90s. There was a slew of like giant robot fighting movies, like Robot
it was
Wars.
hit for a minute, yeah.
Yeah, man, and it was just it's that this concept like people in a building behind this like just giant robots fighting on a giant field.
Even a
So, like-
human-sized robot is kind of a giant robot.
Yeah,
Like, we
true.
don't deal with a lot of most of us don't see a robot besides like the printer.
Right.
So like even like a whole human scale robot's impressive. Like the most popular commercial robot rolling out right now is Spot, which I think we've got a thing on him today too. Spot's by Boston Dynamics, makers of the Atlas robot that you see them beating up on YouTube. Boston Dynamics YouTube channel is awesome. And if you're a robot, you're gonna feel like awkward about it.
Well,
But
Spot was keeping
a-
parks safe, right? Like trying
Exactly.
to keep people
That's
from
a little-
breaking quarantine or whatever.
Yeah, that's like the little dog robot, right?
Exactly.
Does it have the arm on the head? Is it one of those? I know some of them have like the
That's an optional accessory. It doesn't just come
dude
out
but
the box as a dog with an arm
Arm
for a
head.
neck. Yeah.
arm head,
I love that version, but it's unsettling. So,
or how it like opens doors,
yeah.
dude. Like once robots can open doors, like shit's over for humans, man.
Before we go too far from Elon Musk and Neuralink, I just have to say that obsolete is a really strong word, because I can understand language being like passe, like, oh, language is going to be like less hip in 5 to 10 years, but like obsolete implies like almost like depreciated when we haven't even like gotten rid of records yet. Like records are back.
Right. Why it would be? I think it would just evolve, and we'd have a new
Yeah.
language, like a new mental language.
We just
That's-
talk in words for sport, like it's just a hipster thing to do, talk to each other.
Right.
Right. Well, and it also implied like, so all forms of entertainment are now obsolete as well, other than like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna do the Neuro Connection movie, and it
Yeah, they're
takes
like-
2 minutes to just, oh, I understand the concepts, and that was very enjoyable.
Or movies would be weird. So like you put a movie on, none of the actors ever say anything, and it's all just like transmitted. Like the dialogue is all just transmitted directly into your brain. It's like abstract concepts to interpret.
And you know, that's
Far out, man.
that's why we don't have 3D movies right now for the most part, or like 3D blockbusters, because you need a narrator or a guide. So in a movie, someone's aiming the camera at the subject, but in a 360 video, you get to decide where to look. So
Oh, yeah.
people using that for storytelling instead of just like walking through a place and you can look where you want to look, or a music video, for example, there needs to be like cues, or you like miss half the videos going on behind you. There's some really cool immersive music videos where it's worth seeing a couple times and looking around at stuff. But for storytelling in a movie, it's like you got to put it on rails, so to speak.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
still
that's
need
what I was
those
wondering.
rails. Like, yeah, I feel I've done enough like RPG playing where if you're gonna give me the freedom to move around, I'm gonna fuck up the DM's whole idea of what the
We're
story
like,
is gonna be.
We're never
Yeah.
finishing this shit.
That
There's a
you'll never
quest to
level
the
up.
east. I'll be like, all right, well, let's go. Let's see what's west.
Right.
So Spot the Robot, back to that. People are getting all concerned about this being the beginning of some totalitarian thing, but none of these people, I think, took a moment to see this thing pull a rickshaw. So Adam Savage, you might know from Mythbusters, got to borrow one of these from Boston Dynamics for like PR. They lent him one just to see what he'd do with it. And first episode with it, that wasn't just introducing everybody to it, he builds a rickshaw and has the thing pull him in a rickshaw.
Wow.
It's so great. There's like a horn on it. It's just like a real steampunk elaborate rickshaw.
That's
The
the
thing's-
future. That's the future I'm trying to get to, man.
Tiptoeing him through the park. It's so good.
Dude, wouldn't you feel like a king getting like towed around by like a robot dog?
Yes. It's so
Dude,
good.
that's like fucking royalty. You get to make your own custom crown and just rock that shit all day.
I love it.
I hope that's the general way that things, like as technology continues to improve, I hope that they take these cool new scientific breakthroughs and keep applying them to Victorian era
Right.
technologies.
Well, I love retrofuturism that takes place more for our generation. For example, cyberpunk is a whole like art genre that I love making gadgets, and I love taking old things and making them have like, oh, this old MIDI keyboard now it has Bluetooth and stuff like that, or this old 1997 like sequencer thing that used to cram a bunch of double A's into. Now it has like a tablet battery in it. So I love the idea of like steampunk ethics applied to, or steampunk idea of like retrofuturism applied to new stuff. I was explaining to my mom the other day, and she's like, is that like Star Trek? But like Star Trek takes place in the future. This is like being nostalgic and having things take place in the past, while at the same time it's like an alternate past where they figured stuff out that we figured out later that they could have done with that tech. Like that always weirds me out when there's like a new invention that could have been invented like 100 years ago. It's just no one thought about that combination of materials in that way.
Right.
Or like MP3 players. We could have had MP3 players or digital music players way sooner if the MP3 was invented sooner. Because an even bigger example is video discs would have been the size of DVDs like when they came out if MPEG compression had been invented sooner. And that's just math. And just this idea of, okay, we're only going to store the tiny square of the image that moved, and just a note to where that square moved, and just a billion of these notes. So when you see MPEG like slowed down or glitchy MPEGs, it's just a stack of squares piling on top. It's the trippiest thing. But like tech like that, I love. Some other examples are vaporwave. It's a retro future genre, usually music and visually, but that's a sick one to check out. I'm sure you guys already know about. But do you know about Outrun? Outrun is a sister to vaporwave that a lot of people mix up with vaporwave, but it's more. There's more palm trees. There's more. Remember the game Outrun?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So like the aesthetic of that game, but mixed like more of the dream of that game, not how the game actually looked, because the game was like primary colors. But when you see Outrun graphics, they have purples and pinks, kind of like a cross between, which you see a lot in vaporwave aesthetic, but you usually see like lighter, more faded purples and pinks, where this is like night vaporwave.
Oh yeah, with
Yeah.
palm trees.
It's really sick. And just
about
looking
that.
up retro future in general, retro future aesthetic, and like aesthetic with spacing between the letters is like a whole umbrella of a lot of these things. It's sick. It's like those 60s vision of the future with the pointy rockets and stuff, but like
Yeah.
our generation version of that like look to things. Like phones that have a ton of extra buttons,
Yeah.
like weird laptops. It's like, look, I love those laptops that were like a brick that opened in half, and it looked like that robot that was just a rectangle from Interstellar, but like it was your laptop. That whole look just breaks my heart.
Yeah, like Alien and Blade Runner are both really.
Blade Runner is dead on.
Super
Outrun,
cyberpunk.
yeah. Blade Runner is a huge influence on the Outrun aesthetic.
Well, it's like the classic cyberpunk. It was like one of those first movies that really had that whole feel to it. That like dark futurism.
Are you talking about Hackers? Not Hackers.
No, the first Blade Runner.
The first Blade Runner,
Yeah.
yeah. What was that? I don't know if it was the one that we did that remix.
Oh, Hackers, man.
It is Hackers.
Yeah,
man.
dude, that's a classic, man.
That whole, it's like that movie and that look of that movie and the feel of it and the feel of like all this like near future tech that looks old to us now, but was doing stuff that's like amazing still now because it was imaginary.
Yeah.
So it's so cool.
Yeah, the whole idea of like when they're hacking, they're just like zooming through some like weird cyberspace,
Yeah.
you know, looking for files on these tall like skyscraper towers and shit.
Yeah. You know what's an even crazier example is in Jurassic Park, the first one. I don't know if you remember this because it had to be pointed out to me later. But when the girl is like hacking into the computer system,
This is a Linux system. I
Yeah.
know this.
it was this Spark. It was way ahead of its time, and it was actually related to the computers they used to do the computer graphics in that movie. But there's these Spark systems that did this obscure operating system that you really did like navigate in 3D to like do the file management. And those were real screenshots of navigating the operating system. It really looked like that then.
Oh, really?
And
Wow.
it looks futuristic today. Grossly impractical way to get around files, but it was so cool. And it was like for pros only. This was like a computer system that like started at $4,000. It was for like
Oh, wow.
workstations.
Damn.
It was insane.
All right, real quick, back to this Neuralink thing. All right, so everyone's on Neuralink in this hypothetical future, right? Language is obsolete, but you still have to go to a job interview, right? And then is there a way like someone could invasively like pry you for the real facts, or would we have some like kind of mental antivirus tech to like keep
set up
people
your
out?
own firewall.
Yeah, like a mental firewall to like keep people out. Like,
Everyone
would there be like
has-
mental hackers?
There's got to be a massive privacy things that hackers will totally get right past and read our minds all the time. So like just legally, there's no way any of this tech would get into like corporations' hands for job interviews, or advertising is another thing that freaks me out for use of that. It's like, oh, you know the thing I have an addiction problem with, and you're advertising me directly to it. That's awful.
Endlessly in
McDonald's.
my mind. Yeah, just endlessly. Yeah, no, I don't want fucking McDonald's. No, I don't want.
Because you get into the difference between like two different kinds of choice, because there's a way of looking at it where some things that we do that we appear on the outside to be choosing to do, there's this part of us that we don't like, that we don't want to choose to give that part control, and it's making the decisions in that case. And it's like we would have to massively grow up as far as how most people think about the brain and think about the individual and the soul as this like single thing, and not thinking about people as like more than one entity that's using this body to do like this net thing of like what this person is. We have to really like think about things like that if we're going to like judge people based on like obtrusive thoughts that they wouldn't ever act on, and things like that.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people get those. I get those all the time, where you're like
I
driving.
think I would venture to say everybody.
A lot of people. Yeah. But.
You're like driving and
You're like, yeah, let's just crash into the wall.
Yeah.
On the freeway. Yeah, let's do it.
just like picture how the car would sail off the freeway. We'd
Right.
all get our driver's license revoked like immediately.
All right.
And
no
then
one's
like
fit to drive.
the person that doesn't think that, like I'm afraid what else they've thought in that pocket. Like when I was thinking about driving off the freeway, like what were they thinking?
Right.
Like it's got to get worse than that.
yeah.
There's like worse things you can do with a car than just
yeah.
like
Right.
just flip it wherever. You can like flip it where there's other cars to flip into. I don't know. I was about to get like way worse suggestively. I just like
Yeah. Shit like that happen.
pulled the ripcord of my train of thought there.
Yeah.
Oh dang! It's double bob. It's mid bob roll.
It's that mid
It's
bob.
middle Thornton.
I don't even recognize myself anymore.
I'm really worried about him. His addiction. I haven't seen him like this. Ever.
Hey, look, I never wanted to start using. I knew the drill, but I was out of options.
I just want to tell him it's not your fault. There are people out there who can help. People who have felt your pain. They know what you're going through.
This has to stop. I'm losing everything. Everyone.
You've been strong your whole life. You can do this, but you have to reach out for help.
It's time. I can do this.
Addiction is a disease, and diseases need treatment.
Call Quit Drugs 321 now at 800-348-0933, 800-348-0933. That's 800-348-0933. Paid for by the Detox and Treatment Helpline.
Hey ladies, when it's not raining men, it's always raining tacos at Juan's, Flaming Fajitas, and Cantina during their daily happy hour from 3 to 7. If things get a little too hot from their authentic Flaming Fajitas, you can visit their outdoor dining area and cool down with one or dos Corona Ritas. If you're feeling spicy, be sure to order one of my personal favorites, their fresh tableside guacamole, which goes perfectly with their homemade chips and salsa for 1 or 2.
Visit Juan's Flamin' Fajitas and Cantina on Facebook or in the real world at 9640 West Tropicana. Proud supporter of the Rock and Comedy Show for 2 years and counting.
Your new favorite internet radio station, RadioVegas.Rocks.
Hey there, we're back. It's Greasy Conversation on RadioVegas.Rocks. That's a news slice. That's the knife we used to slice open this big news pie, and it's a loud knife. Man, like movie knives are so loud. Like, why you gotta rub your knife on everything when you pull it out? Just like a knife just appears on screen. It's like shink.
Do you ever? I find myself doing that a little bit. Like
Just like to yourself.
Yeah, if I take a knife out of a butcher block, I'll put it back in sometimes, and I'll like kind of
twist
just
a little
to get the shink.
Yeah, it's pretty satisfying, honestly.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, should we? How about some David Lynch news?
Dude,
Finally,
you're grin about it,
dude.
Lynch corner.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
you lynched it up this episode.
Yeah, so David Lynch has been just doing these little like weather like broadcast. He just puts like these videos on YouTube where he just tells you the weather in LA, but it's David Lynch is just kind of a weird dude, but it's hilarious because he's like just sitting in this like office wherever, and he's like, you know, it's Monday, whatever, May, whatever, and he's like, and it's pretty cloudy here, and he's just like looking out the window. Like, it's cloudy here in LA, and a lot of fog, and you know, it's this temperature, but we should be coming out of that. It'll be 75 degrees soon, and that's the weather. That's
I
it.
love how he plays with like just like drabness and super mundane, but it's also somehow creepy. Like, just look at the coloration in this photo. It's like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that for the rabbits, or is that the?
Oh, I'm looking at the photo for the news broadcast.
Oh, the weather.
Yeah, it's like look, it's got that blue filter that Star Trek was put through when who's the lens flare guy, the director?
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, it's just he just looks Abramsy, just sitting there like. With
Well,
your
I
eyes.
think J.J. Abrams was actually recording him.
Oh.
That's why.
Okay.
No.
He's got that time. Just
Yeah,
like
he's just like, you know.
setting up a Logitech webcam on.
Yeah.
Are there any other like filmmakers that you'd like to see the weather from?
Oh, I love this question.
Oh man.
I've got one. I've got mine.
Yeah, go for
Throw
it.
it at me.
I want to see a daily Werner Herzog
Yes.
All right.
weather.
Yeah.
The clouds are hanging low.
It's rather menacing.
It's chaos up in the atmosphere.
The weatherman I spoke to, he doesn't know when he'll see his wife again. They were eaten by bears.
Enjoy the sun while you can, as the sun sets on humanity.
Oh man.
So good.
What about like was it David Fincher who did like Fight Club?
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be. I wonder how he'd do that. It's just like.
I feel like he'd be all normal on camera.
He'd be normal, but it'd be there'd be like Trent Reznor soundtrack in the background.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
There we go.
Or this dude, this guy Jodorowsky. He just made some like really weird fucking movies back in the day, and he was
gonna do a Dune.
He was gonna do the first Dune movie.
Mm-hmm.
And his idea is like there's a documentary about that called Jodorowsky's Dune. That's pretty cool. He was gonna have like Salvador Dali in the movie as like the emperor of humanity at the time.
So
yeah.
is this back in the day a minute? Cause
Yeah, he's an older
Okay.
director, and like some of his stuff was like had to be like late 70s, I think. But he
Yeah,
had some really weird fucking movies. But
I think it was like his was supposed to be the first adaptation, and then it fell through, and we ended up with the one that Lynch
David
did.
Lynch did.
Yeah, yeah.
But they brought Lynch in like halfway through because the whole thing was just a clusterfuck at like every step of the way.
Oh, it started as a like
Jodorowsky?
Yeah.
No, they had someone else start directing it, I'm pretty sure. And then it just went through, it like changed directors a few times. Because like no one could like fucking direct it because the story's massive and it can't fit into like a 2-hour movie, you know?
Yeah.
So
I'm excited for the
new one.
The new one.
Hell yeah.
With like every star in the world that you could think of.
Yeah, I hope it's gonna be like a better Star Wars, but I'm ready for disappointment.
I hope they didn't try to like rush the plot too much and just picked like a good chunk to do a movie on instead of trying to fit all kinds of stuff in one movie.
I've heard it's supposed to be at least 2 parts. And one of those, it's just one of those like, let's hope the first one's good, and then we'll get funding for the second.
I mean, Lord of the Rings worked out okay. It's kind of like space Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah. But they shot the Lord of the Rings all at the same time.
But with like more drugs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, everyone is on the same drug, and it's fucking awesome. All right, and this drug, like, yeah, it's addicting, but you also live forever. Not forever, okay, you live like an extra like 50 or 60 years. And then some people can see the future and shit. It's fucking badass, man.
Sick.
Like, who doesn't want that kind of drug? Like, I'll
Word.
fucking take it right now. Like, let's go.
I like the Soma from what is that?
Brave New World.
Brave New World, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because there's actually a muscle relaxer called that.
Which is great.
Yeah, and it's nice. I know. I love to go on
It's
long
like one of
walks
the
on it.
best like mellow drugs of all time. 'Cause it's
I just realized I'm probably old enough to ask for a prescription for it as an adult. I'm not
Right.
like some kid
I
like
could totally get
yeah,
one,
pilfering for it anymore.
I'm like, oh man, my back's fucking killing me, doc.
I think Hollywood's making a Brave New World TV show too.
Oh, really?
Which is
That'd be
exciting. Like I
sick
feel
as
like
a series. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, as far as like the dystopian novels from that time, like that
Yeah.
one definitely seems like it's
Yeah.
closer than like 1984.
Clearly, America needs a re-education on the dystopian.
They just need to do like
suite of movies.
They need to do
S-
Brave New
stories, I mean.
World. They need to do 1984.
Yeah.
And then Amazon, I just saw they have a Fahrenheit 451 series.
Nice.
Which
Oh,
I
they're
haven't-
doing a series?
Yeah, I
Oh.
think it's like out. I don't know how far they're into it.
That could be a cool like sequel series just taking place in that world.
Well,
Yeah.
HBO made a movie like just a year or two ago.
Oh, dang.
With
Did they?
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, that's the
Oh.
one I'm thinking of. I thought it was a series. It looked like a series, but maybe it's a movie.
Maybe I think it's a movie, but maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's a I haven't seen it.
I don't know. I don't know shit about it.
Okay, so tell me about the other Lynch thing.
Oh, so this thing rabbits, right? It's just this weird.
This is older. I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah. And then this article, like I checked this article because it said like this, like psychologists use this David Lynch show rabbits to induce a feeling of existential crisis in research subjects. But the article doesn't really go into like that at all.
Oh, it doesn't really follow up on the headline? It's
Yeah.
hard to explain how his stuff makes you feel like a Racerhead.
Yeah.
Like the feeling of dread and the sound design and just like how much it feels like a weird, surreal nightmare.
Yeah.
Like how nightmares really feel like in hindsight. It's really something else.
So this thing is just called Rabbits, and it's like it's a sitcom, and there's just 3 rabbits and it takes place in this living room. I haven't seen all of it, but I did watch some of it, and it's pretty
It's
fucking.
15 minutes and you didn't finish it. That says a lot.
Well, it's a single shot. It looks like, or at least
Yeah,
one
it's
angle.
all-
There's no other settings.
Yeah, well, I think there's more than just this video on here.
Every place I pause at, the rabbits are barely moving or standing there.
Yeah, they
drearily.
don't. It's like really just a weird sitcom feel because like they'll say, like the script doesn't really line up with each other. Like they're all saying things, and then one person will answer to something someone said like, you know, a minute down the road.
Oh,
And then there's
man.
just like random sitcom laughter and random like clapping on places that aren't necessary per classic David Lynch.
Oh,
It's really
jeez.
weird.
This
I
is
would
the slowest
suggest
stop motion I've ever seen.
I would suggest checking it out. It's pretty interesting. Like the first minute is just like the mom rabbit just ironing,
Oh my gosh.
and it's just weird. And then like the dad rabbit walks in and it's just like laughter. You're like, what the fuck?
Well, God bless him. It's about time somebody makes something that helps induce existential dread.
Yeah, like I didn't have that enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more.
Every day of my life, David Lynch.
Maybe it's like exposure therapy, though. Maybe it's like healing
Oh, yeah.
to bring it on.
Maybe.
Could be. Yeah.
But if you can handle it, I'm seriously gonna watch this later as like a challenge.
Yeah.
See if I can
it's
leave
just,
it on for
It's
15
just fucking
minutes.
weird.
But if you take away, like, if you were to take away my existential dread, I feel like that would be like taking away a part of me. Like, who
That would
I
be like
you
that would
know?
be like my whole personality if I didn't like
Right.
if I didn't have existential dread, I wouldn't be anyone.
Well, that goes to that theory that like a lot of entertainers are afraid to see a shrink because they have ridden that vehicle for so long and like tapped into that. But I feel like the truth is that as you get tools for dealing with your particular bouquet of mental whatevers that everyone has, you actually only learn how to better tap into that and better use your craziness to come up with things while not having it take over and not you learn how to tame the beast rather than killing the beast.
Yeah, you can like dip a toe in
Yeah.
whenever you need to. You don't need to like go deep dive into the bottom.
It's
all the time.
domesticating the animal rather than killing the animal.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is a lot of people also think that it's just going to lead to them medicating away their issues. But when you treat a medication as like a crutch or a cast to get through a certain period and learn some tools on your own, or you find the right dose that you can coast on and still tap into what you want to, either of those, that's like an improvement in quality of life. It's nothing to be afraid of. So, hot tip.
Yeah, totally. All right, what we got next? Oh, how about this? I think this was yours. Was this Mother's Day brawl?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure Ange sent me this one too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
we'll
This
take a
was,
peep at this.
This was the lady at like Red Lobster who was like freaking out because it was just a long wait to get food because it's Mother's Day and they're doing and like it wasn't open yet, so they had to do, I guess, like pickup. And she tried to barge her ass in there and someone's escorting her out and she just like starts wailing on or trying to. Definite Karen there.
Well, does it say what state it's in? Like, it could be that's the weekend that like Nevada said that some restaurants can open at half
other
capacity.
states were
That's shot. I know it's almost more Nevadan than Floridian.
It's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Pennsylvania.
York, Pennsylvania.
Legalize some drugs, Pennsylvania.
Right?
Everything's illegal in Pennsylvania, and that's why crap like this is like this. This is the most miserable freaking state to even drive through. Everyone's all sad and like, yay, the Constitution, guns to their heads. Like, allow a couple drugs,
Right?
Pennsylvania.
Isn't the Constitution great?
Like it's the whole. It just comes up. It's derailed my whole all of this. How annoyed I am with that state. Legalize something.
Right.
Besides everyone being drunk all the time, smacking their wives around, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why you want these cheddar biscuits so bad.
Right.
Jeez.
She's hooked on them cheddar biscuits.
Get one headshot.
Gotta like feed her cheddar biscuit addiction.
Yeah, let Tommy Chong sell bongs in your state without putting him in jail. Piece of crap. Anyway, Pennsylvania's the new Arizona for me. I just go off on it now. We had like a whole season where every episode it circled back around to dissing Arizona. It was just, sorry Arizona. It was a good season though.
When's the last time you actually had some of those cheddar biscuits though? Like they're
Valid point.
A long time ago. It's been a
I
minute.
shouldn't judge without a biscuit nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can get them delivered with Grubhub.
Yeah, just like
wink, wink.
A barrel of biscuits. I like one barrel of biscuits, please.
If it comes in a barrel, all oaky and cheddary.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a startup catering company that a friend of mine runs. It's called Brunchies, brunchyslv.com. You want to check it out? They do it's cheddar jalapeno biscuits.
Oh,
so they kind of
I'm in.
borrowed a little bit of the recipe, but then improved upon it. And
Nice.
they do meat church on Sundays, where you
Meat
can
church.
order and go pick up like a smoked brisket along with the cheddar biscuits or whatever.
What are they called again?
Brunchies. If you go to brunchyslv.com,
Cool, shout out.
you can check them out.
Hell yeah.
These 3 rows, Tommy, if you get hungry, are all sound effects.
Ooh, I was about to ask.
Longer to the right. And at any moment, especially this row, is all the quick little bangies. So.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, have one. That's the vault door closing on this article. So we've actually got to move into news chug territory early, I think, because we have got so many.
I think we're on a good pace.
I
feel like. All right.
gotta steer it back towards automotive and talk to you guys about the Red Bull soapbox race.
Yeah, do it.
I think I brought it up with either you or Two Clueless Dudes, Fridays at 5, twocluelessdudes.com. It's the other podcast that I produce, and it's awesome with Mad Mike and the Hank. But they just released on YouTube. You find Red Bull, subscribe to that, because the soapbox races are the coolest thing. There is, it's adults, and they race down a hill in these crazy vehicles they make. The vehicles have to be very light. I don't know the restrictions. And, the one we're looking at right now is, a bed. And, of course, the Japan one. They just released one from Tokyo. And it's got some of the most outrageous designs. And
naturally.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's very polarizing. There was one in, one of these soapbox races was in Eastern Europe, and no one put brakes on their vehicle, and they all just hauled butt, because Eastern Europe is like the South in America. So these soapboxes, the fastest ones were at this one, but the most reckless crashes where people were wearing diapers or something without pants, and they're tumbling in the street.
Oh, God.
You don't ever see the road rash. They cut away too quick.
Yeah.
But Japan, there's a streak of careful driving where they were just not going very fast but navigating everything perfectly. And so the winners didn't look that fast, but they made it. But some of the cart construction, this is a cloud with lightning flashing on it.
Nice.
And
these are great.
yeah, there's always places that you catch air. There's always places people tumble, and there's just the nuttiest crashes. There's
seen
jumps.
The Red Bull. They used to do a kind of flight. I use flight with quotations, similar competition, all homemade stuff, and it was basically they had an elevated platform with water underneath, and whoever could get the furthest.
So you had to make
that.
a homemade hang glider and shit,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever flying device you wanted to.
Yeah,
Right.
because most of the vehicles, at least half of them, don't make it through the whole course.
Yeah, no, this is great. This is a full court. The other one it's just one and done so quick, but this looks
That
amazing.
high banked turn there, the high banked turn, so many people fly over it. It's so good. My favorite one of the Japan one is there's this old dude. Oh, did I skip ahead a bunch? There's this old dude that has this face of stoic concentration. His face looks like you're telling him an important story, and he doesn't even want to nod to interrupt the story. These monkey people won. These people dressed as monkeys riding in the banana.
Nice.
This banana was the winner. And look how slow it goes over the teeter-totter. He's just okay. But just not crashing. Man, I hope I can show you this old man's face, because his concentration is great, and it looks like he cries at the end. He almost eats shit over the berm so hard. And you're so proud of him. Is this the dude? Oh my gosh. Yeah, oh my gosh, look at this guy. So his is like a tub of real rice, and he's got this face of perfect concentration, and he hauls butt. He's great. No one hauls butt in Japan like the Eastern Europeans, because they were reckless. They would run into the cameras and stuff, and Red Bull kept the camera there after 3 people tumbled over the hay into the camera. Red Bull's we can afford these cameras. Let's get these shots. One of the cameras all wet from someone spitting or sweating as they almost ran to the camera. Oh man, you got to see this old guy. Look, the face of concentration is he's you can't even tell this is occurring.
Oh, he made it.
Barely goes over the thing. I hope this play-by-play is exciting. Not looking at this, but you got to look at this later too.
That amount of concentration is what I imagine somebody that watched David Lynch's Rabbits.
And then that face of
That's what
relief.
their face looks like.
Jeez, it's funny because there's little swirlies painted on his cheeks. Everyone's done up and costumed out, but he looks like he survived a war, that level of crying, he almost he saw the face of death, and he's not young. And this fire truck one was really cool too, because it's the only one that looks like you actually could buy it in a store. It's just so great. Red Bull soapbox racing. This box of strawberries. These people racing a box of strawberries. There's the strawberries in it. They're throwing them to the crowds.
What would all right? You guys can make a soapbox racer. What would you go with?
Here we go.
What's your design?
Man.
I'm gonna go with a log cabin.
Nice.
Well, I think you first got to decide.
It's got to be light though. It'd have to be like a paper log cabin.
Yeah. Not an actual log cabin.
Are you designing
really
this
tiny one.
to try and win? Or are you designing it to like have
Designing
the
it?
coolest looking one?
Well, there's
Design
points
it
for
to
that
be-
too, so that's part of winning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could like be one of the slower ones and still win for like the creativity and stuff.
Or what if you just make one that's like a battering ram, and just take
know.
everyone else out?
But you don't race side by side.
Oh.
It's a time trial.
Oh, it's just one at a time.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this treadmill. This guy's standing on a treadmill and going down. It's like a paper treadmill, but he's the only one that did it standing, which is cool. I recommend seeing the Japanese one first because it's like the longest, craziest track that they've released so far, and some of the most creative designs. But you got to see them all. I think there's 4 out now. Red Bull's been trickling them out over the last couple months.
Awesome. I think if I were to design one, it would be I would try to make it look like one of those 4-foot lizards from Georgia.
Nice.
Nice.
It's like they're low to the ground too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're aerodynamic, and as much as people want to get rid of me, they just can't.
Or what about like they're like battle tops? Do you guys ever have those toys?
Oh,
They're
dude,
like
that's
80s
so
toys,
close to my idea. I'm gonna say.
Where you like
Yeah.
you would wind this top up, and they had like a metal ring around the edge, so 2 people would, and you pull it, and it whips this thing out in a little like.
I totally
area, and they
forgot
just-
those existed. I
They
love
bash
those.
and then spark all over the place.
Yeah,
Fucking awesome, man.
I remember. I never had any. I was.
Yeah, I barely remember it.
There was
It
a
like when I
rush
a
of
kid.
tops that were the kind that had a metal thing inside the top, so you
Mhm.
could hold the top and then run it along the ground, and it looked like a hot air balloon. But the spinning took place inside this plastic bulb, like a light bulb. So it looked like a light bulb, and you'd rub the bottom along the ground, and it would spin this weight inside of it, and so it would top all around.
Oh, okay.
I remember having one like that. That was like my favorite toy, and I was always mad that my dad could make it spin way longer. He'd like destroy it. Anyway, I had to introduce you guys.
So was it like it was almost like a gyroscope?
Exactly.
So yeah.
Inside there, yeah. Oh, this one. Jeez.
What about this other than this Bosozoku?
Bosozoku. Bosozoku is another thing related to this that I wanted to introduce you to, or at least completely not related, but the fact that this took place in Japan and had such elaborate cars compared to the other soapbox races. Although they're all elaborate, they're all great, but like I would say 10% sicker customizations. Bosozoku is a culture in Japan that's like a cross between our motorcycle gangs, but way more visual. So it like translates to like running street gang, and it started with motorcycles, but it's led to cars and even semi-trucks. And it's this wild customizations where like the tailpipes will go out the hood and over the roof of the car. You might have a splitter in the front that looks like a chin that sticks out for like 3-4 feet.
Yeah, I was looking at those. They look kind of crazy.
I see a lot of those on one of my favorite subreddits is ATBGE. Have you heard of it at all?
What's that?
It stands for awful taste but great execution.
Oh,
nice.
And
I love that.
it's just all kinds of stuff like that. Like, wow, that is incredible, but awful. Like, also is
terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
The coolest ones are the Bosozoku semi-trucks. They were in some hip-hop music videos more recently, like last couple years.
Whoa.
There's also a visualization for them on the Teenage Engineering synthesizers, if any of you guys are in that club.
Those look like from Mad Max.
Yeah.
But like well maintained.
The amount of chrome, like pipes and things sticking out of the face of them is incredible. They look like a slot machine on the outside or like a pinball machine. The way they're covered in lights and all the lights cycle.
And what's the thing coming off the front? Like the long, like a scoop?
It's called a splitter, where the chin area is.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are for deflecting wind for time trials. So another motorsport thing that if you're like, we were talking about Formula One on Two Clueless Dudes this last Friday and how it's cool now, and I haven't checked it out. But time trials is a new kind of motorsport, like not new, of course, but increasing in popularity, where there's no other cars in the track.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting popular parallel with drift a lot because there's a lot of interesting ways to set up a car for drift that are different than other types of racing. And time trial is also like that, where there's weird things you can do with aero, like those big splitters that just don't make sense in any other kind of motorsport, especially when you have to dodge other cars.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's a time attack is a kind of time trial. Anyway, those terms, that's what you Google. And it's sick because it makes the craziest looking cars. That's where that influence comes from, of the splitters and stuff.
Yeah, some of like the tailpipes are just nutty, man.
Yeah, the tailpipes
pretty
going
awesome.
over the roof of the car.
Yeah. Or they come out the back like an array. It's like pretty gnarly.
Shout out to Donut Media, spelled D-O-N-U-T. That's my source on YouTube for a lot of these cool automotive trends. So, holla. That's the end of my car thing. Yeah, see, these time attack cars have crazy noses. Look at, it's like a canard wing on the front of this thing that's like significantly wider. Like the car's twice as wide in the front, wing-wise, for time attack cars. They're so weird.
Like those actually look somewhat practical. Like
Yeah.
the street ones, they just looks like, oh, I'm just gonna add like a small floor
Table in front of it. It's like a porch.
Yeah.
In front of the car.
Yeah, a little porch on the front of the car. Like,
Give a little picnic on it.
mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, these are cool. All right.
Yeah, you see the time attack cars?
Yeah, yeah.
So, we're introducing you to a lot of stuff today.
I'm learning.
Me too. I appreciate it. I like learning.
New shit, yeah.
Mhm.
All day, every day.
Dang, we're in the tail end. We've got just a quick couple of Bob Thorntons. The last break's always the quick one, so you want to pay attention extra. Write things down. Get your pen and paper out, okay?
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
800-430-7568. 800-430-7568. 800-430-7568. That's 800-430-7568. Got an old car? You can donate it, whether it's running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-245-0471. 800-245-0471. 800-245-0471. Call right now. That number again is 800-245-0471.
Be sure to get your mix of music. Listen to us with the RadioVegas.Rocks app available at the App Store. And check out our VIP card, interact with us in our chat room, and scheduling of our RadioVegas.Rocks shows, plus podcasts. It's all available on RadioVegas.Rocks app.
Awesome. We were just chatting about Bleach Improv that Tommy's part of. I'm stoked about it coming back because I was saying improv, like, it can be really cool, but you think like your local town is not going to have like the best examples of things. And like, I'm just making examples that I shouldn't make on the air. But you come to an entertainment town like this,
you go to Sacramento. Those fucking Sacramento pieces of shit don't know shit about improv. Anyway.
Well, Vegas attracts people that want to just, whatever they're already doing, get it in front of people, like just break into entertainment or shortcut it without necessarily like having the gumption to put the legwork into like steadily improving and Kaizen and all that. I know I was one of those in 06, just bombing the open mics and like working on making, like feeling out what I wanted to do entertainment wise. And I was crazily surprised by how good Bleach Improv was and how good like our improv people in this town are.
Well, we've been trying to put the work in. We've been together for 5 years now, I think, and like being able to build a rapport with each other has definitely helped us become better.
Chemistry, then.
Yeah. And additional chemistry, like not just from working together, but like we're kind of best friends.
Yeah.
We
that does a lot for that kind of entertainment.
Mm-hmm. And that's we were talking about. There's a special on Netflix called Middleditch and Schwartz that's improv, and
yeah, entertainment recommendation.
Yeah, they're you can tell that they're like best friends or really good friends at least, and they've got that kind of communication that only comes from being intimately familiar. Well, I don't know about intimate. Very familiar
with one another.
They're boning, and we in Bleach are too. That's not totally true. Although I guess it's partly. 2 of the people in Bleach are now an item.
Encapsulated.
Mm-hmm. Encapsulated. But just being good friends, good buds has I think helped us get better. And thank you so much for saying that.
Earned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get the other folks cycled through too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This is you said, are we getting close to wrapping or?
No, we've got. This is News Chug Hour. I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay,
because
good.
We're at the tail end, and that's when we slice. I feel like I did that one. I feel like you deserve an extra one. Here, have this one. The steamy one? Did we do the steamy room?
That one's my favorite one.
Oh, okay, so steamy time for Greg. I want one just for. This one's just for me, you guys. Turn away. There we go. So it's News Chug time, when we really try to chug as many as we can. But if you go to greasyconversation.com and click on this episode, there's a link to this very same Google News doc. I really should check the analytics on it because I'm curious how many of you folks poke around in here. But it's fun. It's full of all the crazy stuff we found this week that we don't get to show you. And this is a chubby one this week, so check it out. So what do you have next, Greg?
All right, so this picture that's been, I don't know how this feels like it's been going around forever, but it's this picture of a baby platypus. Supposed baby platypus, where it's a guy holding it in his hand and it looks really weird and it's got like a little tiny duck bill that doesn't look at all how like a platypus looks like.
That's a rock. It's so cute though. Someone had to have carved it.
Yeah, no, it was created by an artist.
Oh, okay. I was like, no rock comes out like that. Or I
No,
believe in God now.
but like it legit looks like a little creature. And if you've never seen a baby platypus, which I never had until this moment, you could totally think that is a baby platypus.
I absolutely did until now. I've seen this picture before.
Right? Yeah,
it's
been going around forever.
Of nature.
And people shop things onto it like cowboy hats. They put a monocle and like a top hat on them. Looks like the Monopoly Man.
Is that nothing what a baby platypus looks like?
No,
like not even
Let's
close?
look at a real baby.
If you scroll
platypus.
down, there's a picture of someone holding 2 baby platypi.
I don't have to Google it. What the heck is with... And the craziest nail fungus photo just thrown in as an ad. Jeez, IFL Science, monitor your ads.
Right.
Oh, okay. The real baby platypuses look tastier, though. Like, you see something cute and you want to, like, take a bite out of it?
Yeah.
Real baby platypi look like chocolate ice cream, like soft
serve. They look like ice cream sandwiches. Like, I could totally get a platypus ice cream sandwich.
Does it slide right down your throat? You just kind of hold it up and do that, like...
Let it dangle for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have a great time, buddy.
delicious. Although you don't get as much of the flavor when you eat them that way.
I
Yeah.
gotta
It's
chew, you guys.
It's too quick. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta chew my cute animals.
Well, no, you have to because don't they have like a venomous barb in their tail or some shit, right?
Oh, jeez. Well, you don't
And
eat that part.
Their hind legs, I think.
You gotta
Is it?
devein them.
Right.
Yeah, debarb them. Yeah.
Oh man, how do we chug when there's that to look at?
I
Guys,
know.
crazyconversation.com to see the baby platypi.
Man, just
Yeah.
now I'm gonna be looking
I
at
made us look away.
I'm gonna be looking at baby platypi forever now. All right, and then so I think we had some news we didn't get to about Kim Jong-un like in the last few weeks, but he was suspected to be like in a coma or dead. He went in for some like heart surgery and was gone for a couple weeks, and then so the rumors started popping up that he didn't survive. So then they were talking about, who's going to take his place when he's gone. They're saying his sister was like next in line. There's a lot of family members that could take his place apparently. There's like uncles and another brother or some shit. I don't know.
More news. So also we're about to launch astronauts from American soil again for the first time in a minute, thanks to SpaceX. More Elon news there.
Yeah.
What's another? There's a bunch here that are from you that I'm curious about to chug through real quick too.
No, I think we got through a lot of them.
Well, there's a skull encrusted with teeth, Greg.
I didn't see that. Let me finish the Kim news.
Okay.
All right. Because everyone knows all the part I just said. I'm just giving a little backstory.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
But the thing is that some people suspect it was one of his mind games, and he just faked his death to see what the people in his circle would react and like who would step up to take his place.
Oh.
Who would be loyal.
So that he can assassinate them so that never happens.
Okay. Plausible.
Well, I saw a news story today that they started taking down some of the, like, just within the last day or two, they started removing some of the big portraits that were in public squares and
really?
A few other things. Yeah.
Because there have been rumors that like it could be a body double.
Sure.
It could be like a body double for now until like they figure out what the fuck they're gonna do. But who knows? It's them, that North Korea mind games though. Or this could just be totally like a U.S. propaganda story to make us think that all that shit's happening, and for whatever reason I have no idea. But
All right, I'm already past the gem-encrusted Mexican skull onto this Elvis worm. This worm is the prettiest looking animal I think I've ever seen. It looks like an iridescent, like a
are
purse.
they like the little blue things?
Yeah.
Is that the? Let me find it.
It looks like the container of lip gloss from like your first middle school girlfriend. It looks iridescent, but like it looks like the way that word sounds.
Is it? Why do they call it the Elvis worm? Is it because it looks like it's like sequined?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because of the spangulation.
Because they die on toilets.
This moth is it's like 40% poop. Its inside is just filled with poop without it being able to get rid of it. And it has a doctor that neglects it during that too and just feeds it opiates.
Was that it? Was it an impacted bowel? Was that what killed him?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
He was found like...
I've always heard that he
so
was
full
found
of
on the
poop.
toilet, but...
Yeah, so much of his abdomen fatness was just backed up leanness. It was like record breaking.
Wow.
Yeah, between his doctor neglecting him and giving him opiates that make you constipated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That opiate constipation ain't no joke, man.
That's gnarly.
Shit'll
I'm sure
get you.
you
Shit'll
should
sneak
double
up on
check
you.
that before writing your school report because there's some details there that are probably iffy, but that's the general deal.
All right, so hold on. You gotta go to the at the very bottom. There's this quick YouTube clip of this protest. There's this protest in Florida where these people were protesting for the gym to open back up, right? Because they want to work out at the gym. So it's all these people protesting the gym by like doing exercises outside of the gym.
I want to do this same thing, but inside there.
So there's like people doing
so
just
funny.
like push-ups, and then there's a chick holding a sign doing squats.
Yeah, I just saw her.
Dude. And then I've seen a few different like articles about this, but one of them said, and the gym was inside of them all along. Like just that whole like,
You are the gym.
I've been to Clearwater, Florida, and this makes total sense. Total, complete sense. Yeah, fuck you, Clearwater, Florida.
Right.
You're like the Sacramento of Florida. You don't know shit about improv. You don't know shit about gyms.
You know how to do our show.
Taking them down.
You've got this format figured out.
Oh yeah, just like this idea of a protest, like man, they had to have organized that. That had to be someone's idea. They're like, all right, guys, this is what we're gonna do. Some of us will hold signs, and then some of us are just gonna do exercises that we don't need to do inside the gym, outside of the gym, to prove that we need to go to the gym.
Do you guys think that in like 5 to 10 years that Neuralink will make protests obsolete?
Yeah, we'll just all be protesting all the time. But that's just going to be a thing everyone's brain like does automatically from now on.
We all link up and it's just
protest
like
every goddamn thing.
Instead of words, you just hear screams of
Oh man,
I hate everything. It was just like humanity will just cease, and it'll just be like the never-ending protest. And we'll like figure out how to upload our collective consciousness into the space web, and just go to other planets and protest them.
Tommy just described the particular type of schizophrenia my dad had. You just hear like screaming in your head.
Oh God!
Not constantly, but like
when you have episodes,
semi-daily. Yeah.
Dude, that's
gnarly.
nutty. There was like a thing about like your culture dictates kind of like what the effects of schizophrenia have on you.
Makes a lot of sense.
Where like in places like they found like people who have schizophrenia in like Africa, they live in like villages and shit, and like they're cool. They have like little animal spirits talk to them and shit, you know.
Yeah,
and it's like
and they
real
make
pleasant.
peace with it.
They're real like pleasant because their culture is just like like that.
Well, and humans have had schizophrenia since forever.
Yeah.
It's just their culture didn't like burn down the Library of Alexandria and put all of the knowledge in a book that only the priests knew how to read.
Yeah.
So they knew how to deal with stuff like that. They're like, oh, you just have this spirit. So you can train the manifestations of schizophrenia in different forms. There's radically different forms of it.
Yeah, totally.
But to be something that you can live with and know what it is enough that you don't have to deal with as much medication or deal with as many freaky surprises or any of the problems with schizophrenia as badly if you have coping mechanisms like that. And they're built into a lot of ancient cultures.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There was supposed to be someone, it's like you could almost argue that that existed because you would need some shaking the snow globe, some shaking the Yahtzee cup to get some fresh answers, some fresh ideas. Mutations and errors and glitches are built into us as a species so that we can evolve and keep adapting, because we don't adapt the same way without some Hail Mary passes at some solutions. Right. So you have ways that people work where they're schizophrenic that they could be useful to that society, channeling that in the right way. Yeah. Just like autism is an obvious example of that. There's another one, it's the word, not psychopaths, sociopaths. So we think that like, okay, someone that can't understand normal humans' emotions and can't really like do empathy or sympathy except like as a manual process. They have to like read the book on empathy and like apply it like we might like apply how to bake if you didn't grow up baking. These people, it sounds like they're dangerous and you'd lock them up. But the majority of like first responders are exactly the same thing. It doesn't mean that you can't like learn to care about humanity and learn to manually learn like love of your species and what's good for humanity while still like seeing someone cut open and dying and not feel it and just be like, wow, that's crazy. That it's like this machine that broke really interestingly.
Right.
So like
it's
that's a
feature,
psychopath, but they're using it good. So like, yeah, that's my point.
They have a place. No, that makes sense.
Working at a slaughterhouse, I bet you gotta have some of that.
You just don't look at the eyes.
Just right.
Yeah, that's the thing with euthanizing animals. I've heard. So you just don't look at the eyes. That's a hard non sequitur.
That's the thing about euthanizing animals.
That's the thing about euthanizing animals, you guys. Now more news.
Oh man. Damn. And then oh yeah, we got the woman who snuck into Yellowstone while it was closed down. because there's people doing that. They're sneaking into all the national parks that are closed. And she wanted to get some fancy photos, and she fell into a hot springs.
Yikes. Was it hot enough that, like, you boil?
Yeah, she got pretty fucked up.
Is she okay? She lived, though?
Yeah. Yeah, she got some pretty bad burns, though, obviously. But, yeah, anytime I'm always on the lookout for articles of, like, people falling at the Grand Canyon or, like, falling into a volcano or some stupid shit, just because I'm like, how does someone do that? Like, what goes on in your brain that you're just like, oh, yeah, this is totally a good idea. I'm going to stand on the other side of the railing at the Grand Canyon.
I was sleeping on this one because I thought she died. So I'm genuinely excited that she didn't, because I can enjoy this one more than. Beautiful. Lovely.
Yeah, man.
The scenery is what I'm looking at when I'm saying that, not the massive scalding. It's funny, but it's not lovely.
Yeah.
Was
funny,
it
though.
Old Faithful that she fell in?
No, I don't think so.
mentioned- Oh, okay.
I think it was called...
would blow you up. Old Faithful would probably, like, spoil you so good.
This was Mammoth Hot Springs. Or near Mammoth Hot Springs, I guess, which I'm not really super familiar with Yellowstone.
Well, I've
I thought
heard
there was like a kid, but
stories of people falling into Old Faithful or like animals too that just
oh yeah, you just like
your
fucked.
outer layer of skin is just instantly gone.
Yeah.
And after that,
it doesn't matter because you're just
Yeah,
you're in shock and then you're just gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I need to put on my bucket list. The last thing, though. That's the last thing.
Well, apparently, this is hilariously old news, but I didn't know. Shout out to IFL Science coming with the weird old facts. But I didn't know that nuclear bomb testing during the Cold War changed the weather for 2 years.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was like, it just had that butterfly effect. But I don't know if that, it's like super old or if that's new research about that.
Yeah, the IFL Science is really cool for some new research on old stuff popping up that'll surprise you. So I believe it's become the time we say goodbye. Tommy, do you have any plugs?
Yeah. Hold on, let me.
There you go.
Yeah. Look up Bleach Improv.
Spelled properly.
Yeah.
Great SEO.
Mm-hmm. If you're in Vegas, definitely come and check us out. We have shows on first Friday of every month in normal. I call it preteen times.
I like to say post-pandy.
Post-pandy. We'll be back, and our big spectacular show is the third Friday of every month, all at the Vegas Theater Company at the Art Square Theater in downtown Las Vegas in the Arts District.
Art Square, that's right behind Arts Factory, right?
Yes, right behind Arts Factory, attached to Artifice. It's a very artsy part of town.
You guys know where Artifice is.
The face.
Yeah, Artie Face. The face one. Not Artisan. Don't go to that one by mistake like me. It's not near there.
Yeah, and check me out. Hopefully I'll be
Todding it up.
live streaming stuff from an exoplanet now that I know what that means now.
There's some great exoplanets to go to now for streaming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The technology of finding these exoplanets, like, I'm trying to get ahead of the curve on that.
Yeah, you want to pick out your own before people claim it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the same way that, like, podcasts.
Yeah.
If, like, there are people that started
forever ago,
a decade ago, and they got the market.
Yeah, but it's not saturated though, because it's such a friendly format for long form, because you can put it on while doing other stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Is the idea with that format, and it's been so strong and so strong. There's actually a record that podcasts hold for the form of media, if you don't count not delivery methods, because television as a delivery method has been very good, but there hasn't been one consistent format on television for the whole time. So podcasting as a format, like the general format of a normal podcast, because there's weird podcasts too, that format has had the longest span of being good for advertisers and being monetizable, and like in growth, longest span of growth of any media format.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to imply like, we've.
No, you're not
They've
old, you're
reached
not
the
past
pinnacle,
no.
and if you didn't start 10 years ago, don't even try.
No, but it is one of those things like people that are worried if they're late to the bus to get on podcasting. Don't be worried. Do it now. You'll find your audience. There's more human beings on the earth than there's ever been. So there's never been a better time to just feed your cult and do the best entertainment for your people rather than trying to make everyone happy and no one really happy.
Mm-hmm.
So rather make something that some people love, then everyone's okay with. And you can do that now, and you can do that in this studio. It's for rent for podcasting, even during slots when there's something live on Radio Vegas, because a lot of the RadioVegas.rocks shows occur remotely on the station. Check out the schedule page, RadioVegas.rocks/schedule. Tons of great shows to check out, and hit us up for doing your podcast out of here. We've got 3 Logitech cams. I split 2 of them up to do this stream. I'm doing 6 streams out of here. So you can change angles. You can do it all. It's all ready to go here with new gear and nice temperature and space to spit around and it not land on each other so much.
Yeah, this new studio is pretty awesome.
It's the Kicker Clubhouse, Kicker Cabin. Yeah, welcome to Kicker Cabin. Kicker Headphones, our headphone sponsor, provide all the headphones for this episode. And that's the whole story about it. Is this closing music happening? Yeah, it's true. All right, bye! Woo! Be good! Yay!
Be greasy.
Woo!
Yeah. Stay greasy.
Yeah, stay greasy, jeez.
Oh, sorry.
Continue to be greasy. Rinse off and get greasy again.
If you're not getting greasy, get greasy. If you are greasy, stay greasy.
Yeah, I like it.
We are bringing back this band. Did you see the...
I haven't dove into the...
You didn't see all the conversation in
Not
the
yet.
group chat?
Not yet.
So Greasy Conversation was a band first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're bringing it back. There's a new rehearsal studio in the guitarist's house. This is what the band sounds like. It's really silly. Oh, I'm still alive. Haha. Video time. Yeah, teaser. Get ready. The band's coming back. The band is... Oh, all of that had hella echo on it, too. All right. Band's coming back. More band. Check it out. GreasyConversation.com for more news.
Yeah, we did like a lot of improv. That was our whole idea. Is just like, not like full improv, but just starting with like
Improvisational
nuggets
arrangements.
of grooves. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's grooves we'd know. It's funny because a lot of bands do this without the fan. Not many of the fans not really knowing. Led Zeppelin's a perfect example. We just like have a groove, and it'd be like 2 parts that we switch between, or lots of ours were just like 1 part for the first half, and we knew to transition into a second part that we do for the second half, like drinking from the same straw. And then Greg just unwraps this like poem to it. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like storytelling music, but it's not so direct as a story being told to you, because you might just hear like chunks of dialogue like in a poem. Right. You just hear like a scene getting set. The chunks of dialogue aspect is really cool too. Like one we have called Ghost Confession, where it's Greg confessing to a lover that he's a ghost, and he's been a ghost, but we can still make it work. This doesn't have to be the end. We don't have to break up over it.
It's pretty like jam bandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty like jam psychedelic-y, but synth bass. Crazy drummer, really really fun drummer.
Yeah.
Get behind something.
First album on Spotify now. There's also another single on there.
So if we go to Spotify, look up Crazy Conversation.
Yeah.
I like everything.
Yeah, that's all on the site too. Oh man, the newish 2 years ago single hasn't. I like the name a lot, and I forget what it is.
Oh, did you release a new one?
It's the one
it's
I released a
older
couple
one.
years ago. But that one, oh yeah, you remember the one about the venues and stuff.
No, I don't remember.
Like this place used to be the spot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man, I'll have to listen to it again.
Yeah.
Or, like it used to be the spot until like I started coming here. That's the idea.
Dead Money put out a new album.
Oh! Kello's been on this show like 3 times. I fucking love Dead Money. Kello and I go back to the open mic days.
Yeah.
That's good, Craig. That's not on there that well anyway.
Alright.
They also, did you see, I guess they're going to start doing live music at Rebar.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like a special event type, like, say,
You know Ange and I are going
It's
to
like-
be on that shit. That's our stomping grounds.
yeah. It's like $40 for 2 people. Includes chips and salsa, and then you can buy drinks, I guess, if you want. But I just saw it today. And they got like a schedule up of like who's going to be performing. So far, it's mostly just the guy that he goes and it's just one guy with his guitar. You know what I'm talking about? At Rebar. You're at Rebar.
The description is
A lot of people, I feel like.
one guy with a guitar.
It's like a staple.
It's a guy that's been pretty regular over the last like year or so. He also does busking down on Fremont. That's what I know him from. He's a black guy. Wears like
Maybe I just don't know him.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe.
possible. Not a Rebar every day.
You're not lit. Thanks for having me. This is
Yeah, that was
The
awesome,
pleasure
man.
was all
Thanks.
ours.
Anytime.
Yeah, you're in the
Okay.
club now.
Yeah.
Because we don't, like the last season, maybe 2 seasons, we've gotten this habit of like not seeking out new guests as much as cycling in ones we already know we have fun with. So it's very much not a podcast that we pick guests for like, well, if a buddy of ours has something they're promoting, yeah, we want to get them on and help them promote that. But it's not just about that, like who can we get? It's like, it's about
Hanging out with cool
who
people.
can we enjoy hanging out with, yeah.
I had fun. And yeah, I'll tell the Leachies
Sweet.
sang to me.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
let
that's
them know
awesome.
it's safe in Walking Bugger.
Right.
You got it. Maybe they'll see you on here and maybe they'll get thirsty. Thirsty for the cruise.
Well, I did a show. It was all done through Zoom, but on Friday, and
Oh,
they